Hello everyone, I'm Tessellating Hexagons, talking in an unusual voice for no particular reason. This is A Hat in Time. In the last episode we did some things in Chapter 1 and now we're going to go to Chapter 3 because I'm just some sort of rebellious anarchist flavor cake. Now before we go in, let's just double check. Yes, okay, we have 3 badges. I'm sorry, it's been a while. Wait, what's... Oh, that's the colour thing. It's been a while since I've recorded, okay? Okay, so we have the badge that I wanted for this, but you don't know what I'm referring to yet, so never you mind. And we're just going to go straight to Chapter 3, just because that's what I did in my original playthrough, so the term of the day is Requiem. So, Subcon Forest, Act 1, Contractual Obligations. There may or may not be a famous voice in here. I say may or may not, because if I hadn't been told I wouldn't have known any of the wiser different with my brain soup. But before we actually go into this level, and we're already here, but there's an achievement for climbing this, which I already have, but I think there's something at the top anyway, so let's just go on a bit of a journey, because if you know how Chapter 3 works... Ooh, I did not know you could fall through that. If you know how Chapter 3 works, then you can sort of understand why, for the sake of all things Vagublio, then you're just better off stalling for time. Huh, didn't even... I'm collecting these ponds before I could even see them. So yes, if you plan on going for this achievement, which just involves getting to the top of this, it just involves getting over it with Hat Kid Foddy, then it's worth your while to have the no fall damage badge thing, I forget what it's called, just because we're going up a very vertical structure, doi. But also, it helps to have the magnet badge just because there's collectibles along the way, and while you're precision platforming, you don't want to over-precisify just in the name of collecting some ponds. It may be painful if we fall, but not if we have a badge that prevents us from fall damaging. Now, fun fact, when I first did this, like when I first came to Chapter 3 in my original playthrough, this is the first thing that I did, not realizing, like I knew that I pressed it to double jump. I knew that there was an achievement for doing this, but I didn't realize this was that. Like, I knew the achievement existed, but I didn't know that this was how you got it. I was just sort of existing quite happily. Because, as I said, I was stalling for time because there are some moments in Chapter 3 that I'm not especially fond of. Hat Kid, what was that? How far did I fall? Am I in a good place? I'm in a good place. So yes, I was just stalling for time in doing this, and then I got to the top and I'm like, oh, this is that one achievement, and I got the achievement. So, you know. Just, you know. Okay. Thing is, when I did it for myself, I did it in just one clean run. I didn't fall any times, which I know that sounds like good. I mean, especially judging by my performance here, you'd find it hard to believe that, oh, on my very first try, doing Chapter 3 before Chapter 2, that I had no trouble doing this without falling. But that's just how it went. There's no real, like, what would I have to gain from making that up? Which I know sounds like something that someone who made it up would say, but no, really. Well, even if you don't believe me, I have the achievement, and that's what counts. I have a similar achievement from Chapter 4 as well, which, again, was done on my very first try, but I'll explain that in due course. Clearly, I'm just out of practice. It's because of these mushrooms, they make you go bouncy, bouncy, boo-boo. We will start this chapter proper eventually. Hello. Proper is such a funny word, because you can use it in lieu of properly, depending on the context. But anyway, you get up here, this is where you get the achievement, and also there's this. It's a relic. Or, as a friend of mine for university is, like, he has a catchphrase, it's a soda stream. Unless it's not, in which case it's a printer. He's fond of printers. There you go, so no fall damage, and we got a load of collectibles as a result. That's also worth noting for later in this chapter, but first, Archideld, my friend.
Welcome, young one. Please make a purchase at my humble stall.
Ah, what you got? That's helpful. That's fun. And that isn't as useful as it sounds. Alas, we can't afford any of these. Oh well. Clearly we're not going to make mad bank in the near future. I say that. I don't think there is a way of making money quickly, but it doesn't matter. Can you be helped? Hello there, friend. You have no voice. So this is a sufficiently creepy locale. Ooh, a punch clock. I used to, like, on my way to school, when I was in high school, I used to go past a pub called the Punch Clock, and for years I didn't realise that that's what this was called. I thought it was like, it's a clock, but the hands don't move unless you punch this little sort of hand slot on it. Yum. Like, I thought it would be like, there'd be like a fist indentation where you punch it and it updates to show the current time. If that makes any sense at all. Anyway, I'm just spam clicking to try and punch my way out of this paper bag, this cardboard bag, this plastic bag, this unexpected item in the bagging area. I don't know if you actually can bust out of it or if there's like a time limit, because you can hear the music, stuff's happening. Hello there. It's our friend.
That's right! The old one got himself killed, his head popped off, and now I need a new tower boy. So tell you what, I've got a piece of paper here. Don't worry about the details. I just need you to sign right here at the bottom.
You said bottom. Also, the camera just sort of stays up there in this version. I don't know if it's a console-based thing because I'm playing on PC or what, but anyway. We just need to, you know, we'll just have to do a couple of things and we'll access Act 1 and Act 2 and don't mind about the details. Just sign in Hat Kid language and see what happens.
That seals the deal. We're in business. Let me just snap this real quick.
Yum yum. And there goes the soul of the hat we're not even wearing.
Whoops. Guess this soul belongs to me now. Don't worry though. If you finish your chores quickly, you'll have your soul back real soon.
It's what they call collateral.
And don't you dare forget our little contract. I put it in your start menus that will never leave your sight.
It's true. For the rest of the game, until you beat Chapter 3, you just have that contract there. It's just there. Don't even worry about it. As soon as you deal with it, it'll go when you finish with it. So apparently that guy's voiced by Youngtown. I wouldn't have known if I hadn't been told because I'm not intimately acquainted with who Youngtown actually is. But hey, it's a Tubus in the game, so that's a good. And actually, Jontron's in this game as well, which I didn't actually know until I discovered it. Anyway, gimmick of this, a couple of gimmicks here. One, there are these paranoid eye stalk things. And the things they're looking at, if you dispose of them, then the thing will destroy whatever it's protecting, and also apples. You need to get the locals to possess them, and then they sort of turn into bombs. Hashtag bombzork, because Flash! I was rewatching the best moments of Minish Cap the other day, and wow, I used to be bad at editing and recording and everything. Anyway, new yarn! Yay. We can make the Dweller mask immediately, which, is that a good idea? I'm not entirely sure. I nearly pressed F1 because I was playing some Danganronpa 2 lately, just to, like, now that I finished the main story on stream, I was doing other things. I was trying to go for other achievements and such like. Now here's a hat in particular that I'm fond of because, like, it looks so cute, but then you start getting the alternative versions of it, like the, like, you know, from the Time Rift bonus wheel things, you can get, like, alternative hat flares, and I like this one, and the hat flares for this mask look like the other ones of those spirits, like, you know how the spirits have various, they were various animal masks, and I like the fox one. Fox is so cute. I don't want this weird demon goat thing on my face. But yeah, you can blow up graves and there's ponds inside, and Hat Kid has no remorse, and at the time of recording, also no soul. That grave looks like toast, or it did, until I blew it up. This wasn't what I was referring to when I said there's a way of making easy money, because I didn't actually have anything in mind when I was saying that. I was just trying to be facetious for the sake of facetious. Facetiousness? Facession? Potatoes. Now, it is worth your while to wander around these woods and not just do your main mission, because, well, first of all, we got a bit too close to the village, so here's a bit of story for us. Fire spirits, they're so fucking cute! Nyah! Well, we found the village, that's 1/3 of our thing. That's 1/3 of our thing. I don't remember getting those things at the top of the screen in my first playthrough saying where we are. But yes, it is worth your while, as I said, to wander around the outskirts of the woods and do plenty of exploring whilst you're in Chapter 3, because the progression here isn't quite the same as in other levels. I mean, I say that, actually, progression is completely different across all of the chapters of this game. But, I mean, I'm just blowing up graves because it's free money. But there is something in particular that I've got an eye out for here, and you'll know it when you see it. There are Spidey boos. So I'm not fond of walking under trees, just in case that happens in real life. Or actually, I don't like walking under anything. Look, there is this. Hi.
Why, hello there! You didn't forget about me, did ya? Don't tell me you forgot about me.
Who are you?
What's up? You working on any contractual obligations lately? You better be. Remember our little deal? Check it out! Those incredibly annoying fire spirits are sitting right there, in the middle of my village. Their little dance is creating these incredibly annoying barriers that stop me from getting the parts of my forest. It's almost like they're trying to put an end to me. How adorable. Dispose of them! I don't care how you do it, as long as they suffer for entering my domain. Anyways, back to work, trooper. This isn't a vacation, and I'm getting impatient.
But they're so cute, though. Anyway, yes, so, as you will have seen, in Mafia Town, you just beat a mission to open the next mission, and you have to pay to open some of them. I don't know if that's consistent across all levels, I don't actually remember. But, progression in Chapter 2 works slightly differently. There's the explanation as to why these things blow up. Possess my fruit. Yeah. In places, there are frozen fruit, which is a reference. But there are ice walls as opposed to fire walls, and you blow them up with apple bomb things. Hello, friends.
We want to die. Yay!
Millennial humor.
We want to burn bright and then burn out. Become a cloud of smoke. Our bonfire needs more fuel. Only the finest paintings will do. Can you help us?
I mean, you could help yourselves by just not standing by the fire and finding your own damn paintings, but sure. Bye-bye, Mafia. You die now. I'm not a massive fan of this chapter as a whole, but I do like the fire spirits, which says some rather worrying things about me, I'm sure. But they're just so cute. I mean, yes, they are, as I said, the very embodiment of nihilistic millennial humor, but this is a nihilistic millennial game. Or something. Also, tip for playing this game, also. Sometimes you'll want to double jump and then wall jump. Sometimes you'll want to single jump and then wall jump, so you can double jump once you exit the... This will be easier to show than to tell. Also... Oh! Just accidentally swallowed the word also there. If you leave paintings unattended for too long, then they will despawn and go back to where they were. Now, what I was saying before is, sometimes you'll want to jump at a wall and then jump away so you still have your double jump. Sometimes you'll want to double jump at a wall and then... Like, you can only double jump once per thing. You can only double jump one time for any given jump. So sometimes you want to have that going into the wall jump, sometimes you want it coming out. Oh, this isn't as straightforward as previously suspected. Is there... Oh, there's that there. I need some apples to throw at things. Possess my apple! Wow. Oh. It's Archideld. Except there are plenty of Archidelds in the world, apparently. Also, I don't mean to keep talking over them, I just find it precious how, like, Hat Kid is just like, I'll borrow you. You're coming with me, etc. You see, Archidel's fine, don't even worry about him. About apostrophe EM, because we can't be sure of Archidel's gender. And this is something of a recurring theme in Chapter 3 as well. The, whole thing of collecting paintings to, do stuff. Ooh, there's a purple lum. Clearly that's what those are called. Now, that reminds me of just Rayman in general. Can you possess my fruit, or do you not have a face? You don't have enough of a face. Kafacey poo. Again with the references. Why do people pronounce them looms in Rayman? Also, ice. We're supposed to have the ice hat now. I guess you're supposed to get that in Chapter 2, and I don't know. We've got the Dweller Mask now, and that requires more yarn to stitch, so clearly it's later game fantabulousy asparagus. What was I trying to do before this? Ooh, there's more ice yarn. Ice children. I can't top that, just ice children. Anyway, possess my fruit. Sounds like a weird, like, ITV game show. I pressed it to throw. I botched it up spectacularly. Botch never used to be a word, and then they started saying it on a kids' TV show. And then suddenly it became a word that everyone was aware of. I can't feel my left foot, by the way, but hey, that's just typical of me recording when I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. Well, it's not even the edge, it's like the front side. Anyway, there is something out here in the woods that we need to find. I'm not sure if it varies in places. I know it can appear in multiple places, so something to keep an eye out for, I suppose. In the meantime, we should be looking for the last painting, which is not that difficult to find because it's just there. Now, what's the easiest way of ascending? Oh, yes, that's one other thing that's sort of rude about the Subcon Forest, but if you get too close to the doors, they'll close you can't go inside these stumps, apart from the ones that have holes in them. You can't go through the doors, they're just a nice little effect that make you feel like a Mormon, or a Jehovah's Witness, or whichever one it is that there's that joke about shutting doors in their faces, I don't know. That's a bit aggressive. Yes, now we could go to various places that were inaccessible before, but not all of them. So we still have to clear out the Subcon well, but no, we have other things to attend to, excuse you.
Well done. Please tell me they suffered. You murdered them, right? I bet you strangled them. Good girl. Don't think I'm done with you. There's more of these pests around my forest, and I need you to take care of every single one. Next on your to-do list, clean up the Subcon well. That's right, you're a plumber now. Congratulations on your promotion. I also have some other work for you that I cannot do myself. And hey, as long as I need you, you get to stay alive. What a deal, huh? But enough talk. You look like you can handle multiple things on your plate at once. Let's give you an additional contract.
It might not be until now that the thing I was looking for in the woods starts appearing. Oh well.
Pick one, but only one. Isn't it thrilling to sign your life away?
Again, millennial humor, because camera. So we have two choices. We have one choice, two things. So that there's Act 4 and also Act 5. And I would much rather do this one, thank you please, because clearly, if you choose one, you'll never have to do the other.
Good choice. Let's hope you're up for the task. You're looking for timepieces, right? I found one of them while hunting some poor soul. You can keep it, but this is the only time I'll reward you for completing parts of the contract. Because guess what? I'm not legally obligated to.
Now, I do like the noise that it makes when I think it's called the Snatcher, when his text boxes appear and disappear, because it's very reminiscent of the angry boxes from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. So anyway, as you may have figured out, Subcon Forest, Subcontractor Forest. I am a genius. Well, I have been, and will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons, and in the next episode we'll head back into the Subcon Forest and see what else we can do with these contracts of ours. See you then.